which they interpret reality. This happens every day in workplaces, friendships, classrooms, and even romantic relationships. Sometimes the intimidating person hasn't done anything at all. They're simply becoming a screen onto which other people project their own internal struggles. This brings us to the first sign that you may intimidate people without realizing. You remain calm under pressure while everyone else becomes emotional. Emotional stability is one of the rarest psychological traits because the human brain naturally reacts strongly to stress.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
And something unexpected happens.
No matter the cost.
Most people experience increased heart rate, racing thoughts, and emotional impulses. Their facial expressions change quickly, their voices become louder, and their decision-making often becomes reactive rather than thoughtful. But some individuals naturally maintain composure. They pause before speaking. They regulate their emotions instead of expressing every feeling immediately. Their body language remains controlled even during conflict. Psychologically, this kind of emotional regulation signals competence. The brain often associates calmness with strength because throughout human history, leaders who remain composed during crises increase the group's chances of survival. Today, this ancient association still exists. When someone stays calm while everyone else panics, observers instinctively assume this person knows something they don't. Calmness becomes interpreted as confidence, authority, or superior emotional intelligence. However, the same quality can unintentionally intimidate others. Imagine two co-workers facing an unexpected problem at work. One begins speaking rapidly, expressing frustration and anxiety. The other quietly analyzes the situation before calmly suggesting a solution. Although the calm co-worker never criticizes anyone, the emotional co-worker may suddenly feel embarrassed about their own reaction. Without realizing it, they begin comparing their emotional control to the other person's composure. This comparison creates discomfort. Instead of admiring the calm individual, they may perceive them as intimidating. What's fascinating is that people who possess emotional stability often misunderstand why others react this way. They assume everyone processes emotions similarly. They may wonder why colleagues seem nervous around, or why certain people avoid difficult conversations. The truth is that emotional regulation often highlights emotional dysregulation in others. Like a mirror, it reflects differences people would rather not see. On the other hand, if someone consistently loses emotional control, becomes defensive over small criticisms, or reacts impulsively to minor stress, psychology suggests something different. It may indicate difficulty regulating emotions, unresolved stress, chronic anxiety, low frustration tolerance, or past experiences where emotional reactions would be necessary for self-protection. This doesn't make someone weak. It simply suggests that their nervous system has learned to stay on high. Psychologists often view emotional regulation not as a personality trait alone, but as a skill influenced by childhood experiences, attachment styles, emotional safety, and life circumstances. The second sign that you unintentionally intimidate people is that you rarely seek external validation. Most human beings naturally crave approval. Compliments activate the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and reinforcing behaviors that gain social acceptance. Throughout history, belonging to a group increased survival. So our brains evolved to value acceptance deeply. Even today, people often adjust their opinions, appearance, career choices, and behavior simply to receive approval from others. But individuals who don't constantly seek validation behave differently. They make decisions based on personal values rather than public opinion. They don't immediately defend themselves against criticism because their self-worth isn't entirely dependent on what others think. They can disagree respectfully